So as you guys probably have already seen, I did, for some reason, pick up the Animal Crossing Special Edition Switch. Now while I am very excited to have it, obviously, that does present a new issue for me, and that is now I have to try to move my Animal Crossing island over to another Switch. Now, I've already done this once. I called Nintendo a few months ago. It was actually the day that this service went live, and I didn't tell them the truth. We weren't completely honest with them that time. So I decided I'd go ahead and film all this again. We'll do it again, but this time I'm actually gonna just tell the truth. I got a ton of comments on that video. Some people telling me that they tried to lie, it didn't work. Some people telling me they told the truth and it worked. Some people told me they told the truth and they wouldn't do it. So we're gonna go ahead and see what happens. I'm gonna record the whole thing. As I said, we're gonna go through each step and I'm gonna show it on camera this time because I know a few of you guys wanted to see the actual process on screen. And while we have the lady or man from Nintendo on the line, I'm gonna ask them some of the questions that you guys had in the comments. A lot of stuff about what happens to your save on the old Switch once you transfer it over. What happens to the Switch? So hopefully we can get all those questions answered, but let's go ahead and let's give them a call.
For Nintendo Switch, press 1. For parental controls, or to check the status, if you're calling because your Joy-Con control sticks or buttons don't work when the Joy-Con are attached, please visit support.nintendo.com/Joy-Con repair to set up a service ticket.
Yeah.
As we continue to follow.
Okay, Tris, and tell me, how can I help you today?
I actually just bought a Animal Crossing Special Edition Switch, and I wanted to see if I could get my island transferred from my old Switch here over to the new one.
Okay, for sure. Let me help you with that. Just give me 1 second, please.
All right.
And just let me know, are you talking about a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo Switch Lite?
It's a Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch. Thank you. Just give me a second. Can you provide me the serial number of your console, please?
Do you want it off the original one or the new one?
The new one is okay.
Okay, the new one is...
Okay, so what we're gonna do in this moment, basically, is that we're gonna open your game of Animal Crossing on your new Nintendo Switch.
Okay. Doing that right now.
After that, we're just gonna make sure that you have the last system update.
I just downloaded the game this morning, so everything should be up to date. I would hope. All right, it's starting the game now.
Okay, so once you see the black screen with the Nintendo logo, we're gonna press the minus button, okay?
Oh yeah, I'm already past that. Should I restart?
Okay, yeah, let's try to restart the game, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna hold the minus button on the black screen that says Nintendo.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Do you want to begin island backup restoration? Begin.
Okay, we're gonna select yes.
Ready to check for data? Yes, I'm ready to check for data. Okay, check. Couldn't find any recoverable backup data.
Just give me a second. Let's try to do it one more time.
Okay. All right, yeah, it's asking me now if I want to check again.
Okay, let's select begin or yes.
Okay, check again. Ah, there it is. Yep.
Okay, that's perfect.
Go over
So now,
to
basically,
recovered,
we're gonna restart.
recover data.
That's right.
Yes, please. All right, says it's been restored. It's restarting the game. Okay, so I have a question about the save file on the old Switch now. What happens to it? Will it just stay where it is, or does it get deleted, or what happens with the save data on the old Switch? Could I go back in and play on the same island, but it would just branch off into 2 different saves at that point, or what?
Okay, in this case, I think you can actually only play your Animal Crossing data cloud on your primary console.
Okay, so it wouldn't even let me play if I tried to boot that one up then.
No, I think you're gonna be able to play, sir. You're gonna be able to play, but that can have to be in a primary console. So it will depend on which console. So it will depend on which console will be your primary one, if the new one or the last one.
I just wondered what happens to the save file that's on the old Switch. Like if I keep going and play on this one now, and then come back to that old one, would it be updated, or would it just stay in the same place that it was at?
Okay, it will be staying at the same place that it will at.
And then one other question I have, I know this is a weird question, but if I would happen to save on that one, would it delete progress on the one that I'm currently doing if I was further along on something? And then I went back to the other one and then saved? Or would they both be completely separate at that point?
Good question. Let me go ahead and check. Second, so you're saying like saving the game on the other console?
Yeah, like let's just say, just as an example, like if one of my kids had this Switch and then decided that they were gonna jump on that island and do something and then they saved, would it delete what I did on my Switch and go back to that? I'm just, really what I'm wondering is just how connected the two saves are now. If they're two completely different things now, or if they can affect each other. That's really what I'm concerned about.
Okay. In this case, like I'm saying, it will depend which one gonna be your primary console. Because everything gonna be saving on your primary console.
Okay. That's a huge help.
Anything else I can help you with today, Mr. Chris?
Yeah, should be good. That should be all.
Alright, so you're ready to go. Thank you for calling Nintendo and have a great day.
You too, thanks. Okay, so there you have it. You don't need to lie. I told him the honest truth, everything, and it was actually, I think it was a lot smoother this time than it was when I tried to lie. The last time they wanted not only the serial number off the new one, but they wanted the serial number off the old one, and he didn't even ask for that. He didn't ask for hardly anything. Once he verified my identity, that was pretty much it. I gave him the serial number off of the new Switch, and I pretty much did the rest of it myself. However, it did not work the first time, so it looked like I may have been a step ahead of him and he didn't, you know, flip whatever switch or open whatever gate needed to be open for me to access the saves. So it literally is that easy. If Nintendo would flip that switch and just keep it open, we could be doing this ourselves, which at this point I think is way long overdue, but you know, this is how we're doing it for now. Now, from what I gather from this now, these are two completely different saves now. They have branched off. So the one save is going to be your original save that you keep working. I mean, I guess essentially now you could take your island in two different directions. I'll have to look into this a little bit more and maybe keep trying to do this. But it looks like now I have two islands started at the same place that now have two separate save files. That is, if I would keep it on this Switch, which I'm probably not going to. But if I did, I could have two islands starting here and then do whatever I want with either of them, which is very interesting. Again, I'm gonna keep messing with this before I delete this one and do what I'm gonna do with it. But there were some other questions you guys had that I wanted to address in this video because a lot of these seem to be asked several times. So I wanna make sure we go over at least some of them. Now, one of the things I know a lot of people asked right when I put the video up was, what happened to the other Switch? The first video. Everyone was talking about my Pokemon Special Edition Switch Lite, which is over there on the shelf right now, but it is fine. Nothing happened to it. It's not banned from the eShop or anything crazy like that. You could pick that thing up and play it just like you normally would. I'm guessing at this point now, my Animal Crossing save on there is where it was at before I made that switch to this Switch or change, whatever, you know what I mean. Before I moved to this one and now to this one. So I actually have the same island in 3 different places. So I guess now if I went over and played that one, I would have another island, but it's the same island. I'm gonna look more into that. Anyway, no, nothing happened to that Switch. Nothing happened to this Switch. You can get on the eShop. You can still use them as normal. It's not a problem at all. Another question that was asked a few times, if you delete Animal Crossing off of your Switch, would you lose your saves? Possibly, but no. In the very first menu, whenever you boot up the game, when it shows you the logo, if you hit the minus button, then you can go in and set up your cloud saves there. As long as you have that enabled and it's up to date, you can delete Animal Crossing completely and it's not gonna matter because it's backed up there. Now, whether or not you can actually get it and put it back on your Switch without calling Nintendo is another question. My guess is you probably have to call them for that too. Again, maybe that'll be a third video on this, but I really hope by the time this one runs its course that we're not even having to worry about this anymore, that they've opened this up and we can all just do this ourselves, because this is a little ridiculous. And one more thing I definitely wanted to let you guys know, because I kind of was confused about this in the first video I made. you definitely have to be in contact with Nintendo in some way, whether that be on the phone, through a text, or through an email. Whichever way you want to do it, whichever way is best for you. All of them work, but you do have to be in contact with them to get the island moved over. There is some sort of switch or something going on there that they have to flip on their side for all this to happen, which is crazy. But that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope that answered a lot of your questions. If you have any more, make sure you leave those down in the comments below. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, make sure you are subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.